What's going on, guys? Comet here. Just want to make a quick video on top 10 updates for Sparking Zero to become a better game. Number 1 is PC connectivity issues and ranked disconnect penalties. So this is something that I've experienced a lot on playing on PC. I'm not sure if that's something that happens in Xbox or PS5, but I basically every second match that I play, I get disconnected, saying it's a communication error. So that very much discourages me to play ranked or any type of online matches. So that's something they should fix. And this is a game that I love playing just offline, and I would love to play it online. And even if I lose or win, doesn't matter. I just want to be able to experience that. And what turns me off the most is just disconnecting every second game. The other thing I have with online issues is the ranked disconnect penalty. There's no penalty for ranked at the moment. You can just DC middle of a game, end of a game, whenever you feel like you're losing, and it just puts you back into the lobby. And that's no way for a ranked mode to be. It doesn't make sense, and I hope they add that regardless of the reason. I know I said there's PC connectivity issues. Hopefully they'll fix that before they implement any ranked DC penalties, but I would like to see that implemented as soon as possible. I see a lot of people complaining about this, and yeah, this can make ranked so much better of an experience, especially with a lot of cheese players that are playing at the moment, which I think is fine. You know, you can use the characters in any way you want. All the characters are unique and have their own playstyle, and some are more powerful than others. It's not going to be a balanced game. We know that from the start. Second thing on the list is FPS related slow motion, lag, and unresponsive controls. I find that sometimes when I'm doing high speed motions, when there's a bunch of vanish battles, or if you're kind of doing an ultimate, the game does tend to go into a slow motion, and afterwards it speeds up a bit. Not sure if it's an online issue or if it's just an FPS issue. I have found that it happens offline as well, so I think it is an FPS issue. So hopefully they can release the cap on 60 and make it into, maybe a variable frame where, if you have a better monitor, you get higher FPS. But also I found that lag is a big issue when playing ranked. There's a lot of lag switching, a lot of unresponsive controls as well, or double input, especially when there's lag. So I hope these are something that they can fix in the future. So the next thing I have on the list is instant sparking and blockable ultimates. With regards to instant sparking, I think they should do a skill count increase so it's harder to get, and possibly also do a nerf similar to Yajirobe's, or even maybe make it so that instant sparking isn't a thing. Just make it so that you won't lose any skill counts, but you'll have a full key bar, and then if you want to, you can level it up all the way, charge it up all the way. It's up to you. So I think that'd probably be a better way to look at it, because I know a lot of there are a few characters who get abused a lot because they have this instant sparking ability. So that's just my 2 cents on that. I think, yeah, they can just either increase the skill count on it or remove it completely and make it so that you get a full key bar. And they did have a patch to be released in December, which is around the battle mechanics. So I don't know if that's something they're looking at, or maybe it's just some of the movements they're changing around a bit. But the other thing I have on this is blockable ultimates, which is a bit controversial in a sense. I personally don't think ultimates should be blockable, because there's a whole cutscene for you. You have a whole dialogue cutscene telling you can't get away with something, whatever, and it gets blocked. It's not even a special block. You just hold B for Xbox, or circle for PS5 or whatever, and that's it. You just blocked an ultimate. And there's only around I think 25 characters or so who have unblockable ultimates, and there's a few characters that have unblockable supers. But realistically, if you know the roster, if you know who you're up against, you'll know their ultimates are blockable, so you don't really have to do anything. They can go sparking, and the only way they can really get you is if they get you into a vanish battle, fly you away, or knock you down where you're just on the ground, and then do an ultimate. I guess my main thing with it is you have to make the opponent do something. You can't just hold block, and you have to be able to either vanish out of the way by timing it, or by using instant transmission using one of your skills, or by using like skill points and like blowing it away, or using your own ki blast. Like, you have to do something. I think that's what I really want to see out of Ultimates. Now, the next thing I have is limiting vanish battles and fixing Z search. I'll just start with fixing Z search. I think it's so annoying and dumb, just how the Z search works in this game at the moment. I know in Xenoverse, like, you could just press right bumper or left bumper, and then you can just lock onto the opponent when they're there. But for some reason in this game, just Z search is just so bad. Like, you could be staring at a person and you won't notice it for like a good like 3-4 seconds. And like, I've seen a few videos on it, people trying to explain it, that you have to kind of like sit there and then not move your character, and then just try and Z search then, and then it'll lock on. But honestly, I don't think it should be that hard. Like, you're not really doing anything. Like, you should be able to, if they're in your field of view, and if you press the Z search button, it should just auto lock onto them regardless of how far they are or what they're doing. If they're in their field of view, they're there. So that's for Z search. And the other thing is with vanish battles, I've seen this a lot in online gameplay where it kind of just goes into like a 10 round vanish battle. I think they should limit it to 2 and make it into some kind of like a grab clash, or some kind of other clash battle which they have. I think this will really speed up the gameplay and not make it as boring. Like, that's my main issue with vanish battles. It's just kind of boring to be able to do that. Next thing on the list is adding a ban phase in ranked. I think it should ideally be around characters all up, and also implementing same health, key regen, and damage dealt. So if you do an ultimate as Tien, that does the same amount of damage as Gogeta. Everyone starts with the same 4 health bars or 6 health bars, and the key regen when you charge is the same. I think that should be something that's implemented, so it makes ranked not only more easier to play as, because I see a lot of people complain about the fact that, if they pick an early Vegeta and they can't go up against Beerus, and that makes sense. Like, in the actual anime, that makes sense. But for the purposes of ranked, they should at least start with the same base stats. Point 6 is revamping custom battles and story mode expansion. Now, I'm hoping the story mode will get these expansions in terms of DLCs, but I hope we wouldn't have to pay for a story mode for GT and other things like that, but we most likely will. But yeah, like all these other characters that we have in the game, like Bojack, Android 13, and so on, I hope they get their own little storyline too, or like Lord Slug and Turles. Their storylines were pretty cool. Metacooler as well. I would like to see that storyline in there, even if it's a shorter storyline. I would really like to see that. And also with custom battles, it's very tedious to go through all the selections for dialogue and for characters. Hopefully they'll make it easier for us to navigate through custom battles. But let me know in the comments below if there's some video I should watch, or if there's an easier way to navigate through this, because I found it super annoying to navigate custom battles and make my own custom battle. Another thing I would like to see is enhanced character customization options. Right now, Goku's kind of the only one with any outfits. Even those outfits aren't that great. They're just with belt, without belt, so it's not really that deep. So I really hope they would add more customization for all the characters, being able to see like a Yamcha in baseball outfit, or like Krillin as a cop, like cool things, which I think that are easy enough to add in the game. Now the next point is more of a wish list point for me, which is adding co-op story mode, team-based battles, and bonus battles with unique challenges. Right now, for at least bonus battles, it's very easy. It's a lot of times it's just beating the opponent quicker, so it's not that hard. And I think adding co-op story mode, which would be pretty cool. Like, you could play as Gohan and Krillin, or Gohan, oh sorry, not Gohan, Krillin, Goku and Krillin, or like Gohan and Piccolo. You can kind of take on battles as them, and you can one person can control Gohan, the other person can control Piccolo, and yeah, I think it'll be hope it's similar to what's in Xenoverse, where everyone's kind of in the same arena at the same time, rather than like switching in and out. But it's more of a wish list, and I just hope something that they would add, it'll be cool to see. Another thing I'd like to see is more maps being added to the game, as well as adding more destructive battle arenas. It's a very cool thing to see the whole entire map change when you pull off an ultimate. And right now, I think it's only Namek where you see this change happen. Last but not least is improving training mode to add multiple styles of training. So being able to couple smashes and counters with a melee combo strategy, or smash and encounters with an ultimate at the end. So these are something that they could add, which would be a super cool feature and would make the gameplay more interesting and training more interesting as well. Last thing I would like to say is the developers released a survey for us to finish, so they can kind of have a look at what we want, what we don't want, which is a really interesting move. I really hope they've listened to the ideas that we put forward and like really build up on it. I appreciated the fact that they actually took the time to do a survey and go, okay, the community's not happy with these things or not happy with the game of how it's released. Let's put out a survey and let's see what we get back, and maybe we can fix those things. I hope they do actually act upon the things that we said. I'll link the survey in the description below. If you haven't done it, please have a look, do it, add whatever you can. Also, let me know in the comments below what you think of my list. Let me know if you agree or disagree with anything you think should be added. But all in all, thank you for taking the time to watch this video, and I'll see you all in the next one.